Okay, now we're going to add our angle relationships with some algebra. So the first thing we want to make sure always is, do I know that I have a transversal intersecting two parallel lines? And I see the parallel marks, so yes, I do. My next question is, I want to know, how are these two angles related? So I have 3x minus 10 and 3x plus 10 and 5x minus 10. How would I describe these angles? These are alternate interior angles, and we know that alternate interior angles are congruent. So I'm going to set them equal to one another. 3x plus 10 is equal to 5x minus 10. So I just need to ask myself, what would I consider these angles? So again, alternate interior, and I know they're congruent, so I will set them equal. So I'll subtract 3x for both sides. Now I'm going to add 10. And finally, divide by 2. So in this case, x is 10. If we want to go ahead and plug it back in, 3 times 10 is 30, plus 10 is 40 degrees. 5 times 10 is 50, minus 10 is 40 degrees. And this is exactly what we expect. Example 2. So I have a new set of angles, and I want to ask myself, how are these related? So I know that they are both on the interior of my parallel lines, and so they are on the same side, or consecutive interior angles. So I know that consecutive interior angles are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So I'm going to add these two angles, and I know together their sum is 180 degrees. So first, let me combine like terms on each side of the equation. So 5x plus 2x gives me 7x. Positive 15 minus 10 gives me positive 5. There's nothing to simplify on that side of the equation. So now I'll continue to solve. I'll subtract 5 from both sides. Divide by 7. And x is 25. If I want to go ahead and plug this back in, 2 times 25 is 50, minus 10 is 40. 5 times 25 is 125, plus 15 gives me 140. So again, my relationship, they add up to 180. They're supplementary. Last and final example. I take a look at these, I notice my parallel lines, and I look to see if I can find a relationship between these two angles. Directly, I don't see any. But what else do I know would be 3x? I know that this angle would also be 3x because they're vertical angles. Now I can relate those two angles. I know that those two angles, just like the last example, are consecutive interior angles. So their sum is 180. So 3x plus 105 is equal to 180. And now I'll solve. Subtract 105. Three x is equal to 75. And again, I get x is 25. If I plug that in, I have 75 degrees.